Hi guys, it's Kaitlin, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be doing a tattoo tour for you guys today. I started getting tattoos when I turned 18 years old, and I have gotten 10 tattoos in the past almost 4 years. Every single tattoo I have paid for out of my own money, except for my first tattoo, which was a birthday present. So that's why I don't have as much as I would like, because tattoos can obviously be very expensive. But with having 10 tattoos in the past 4 years, I think that's a decent number for someone that's my age. Obviously, if you don't like tattoos, that's your own opinion. But I love tattoos. I love the way they look. I love how some of them have meanings behind them, some of them don't, and that's okay. I'm going to talk about the artist that I got it from, where I got it from, the pain scale, prices if I can remember them, and if they have any meaning or not. So the first tattoo I got, it was a day after my 18th birthday, and it's just a simple black and white rose. Ever since I was 13 years old, I knew that I wanted a rose tattoo as my first tattoo because that's my middle name, it's my aunt's middle name, it's my grandma's first name, so rose has a very meaningful thing to me. The artist that did this tattoo, his name is Worley, and at the time he worked at Epicenter Studios. I believe now he works at New Hope Tattoo, so I'll be sure to link his Instagram account down below in the description. As far as pain, on a scale 1 to 10, I would probably rank it about 4 to 5, only because it was my very first tattoo. And I think the most uncomfortable thing about it was the fact that my arm fell asleep while it was dangling off the table. So I got my second tattoo about 2 months after that, and it is still my biggest piece that I have today. And it's just a simple sugar skull in black and white with 2 colored roses. This took about 2 sessions, only because the entire tattoo shop had to go to a wedding on the first session. So on the first session, we got the outlining done and the shading done for the skull. And then with the second session, I just came back in and got the roses colored. The artist that did this piece, I believe his name was JT. He was also at Epicenter Studios. I'm not sure if he's still there now, and I'm not sure if he has an account or anything. But I do like this tattoo. I like the idea of it. I'm not a huge fan on the line work though. In my opinion, I think the lines are too thick compared to the other tattoos that I have, but that doesn't mean it's a bad tattoo. I still enjoy this tattoo. I enjoy how big it is. I enjoy how simple it is, honestly. Rating the pain, it varies. Up towards my hip bone, it was more of a 7, 10, 8. But as he went lower, it would probably be about a 6 or a 7. With the 2 sessions, this costs about $300, I believe, which isn't bad at all, honestly. For as big as this is, it probably should cost a little bit more depending on who you go to. So my third tattoo happens to be on a different leg, and it's actually on my foot. And it's just a simple outline of some mountains that represent home for me. I live in West Virginia, and whenever I think of West Virginia, I picture mountains. Even though I still currently live in West Virginia, I plan on moving one day, and I figured that I should get a home tattoo to represent where I come from. The artist that did this tattoo, his name is Jamie, and at the time he worked at a tattoo studio called Black Eagle, but he has moved since then to Georgia, I believe. So I'll be sure to link down his Instagram account also. That way you can make an appointment with him down in Georgia if you decide to do that. With the price, I think it was the shop minimum, I believe, and I think it was only $75. Even though it's a small tattoo, the fact that it's on my foot, there was times the pain rate was probably at a 10. My third tattoo I got a year later, and it's the wolf with the rose in its mouth. Funny story, an ex-boyfriend of mine, when we were dating at the time, he had came across this picture of this wolf, and he had talked about wanting to get this as a tattoo. Years go by, we break up, and around the time of me wanting to get another tattoo, I had messaged him and I asked him saying, hey, is it cool if I get this as a tattoo? I know you had talked about it getting in the past, but since you haven't, can I get it? And he said sure. A year later, I get this wolf tattoo. I am absolutely in love with it. Ryan Worley, that I had mentioned, he did this tattoo also along with my first one. I absolutely love wolves. They're my favorite animal, and the fact that it has a rose in its mouth kind of ties in with the rose theme that I have going on. It honestly did not hurt at all. There were times during the tattoo that I felt like I could have slept through it. So for me, the pain scale, I would say it was probably a 2 or a 3, so it wasn't bad at all. So after I got my wolf tattoo back in December of 2016, my next tattoo was this Beauty and the Beast outline that I got in June 2017. I'm sure you've seen it floating around on Pinterest because that's honestly where I got it. But I am a huge Disney fan. Beauty and the Beast is in my top 3 favorite Disney movies, and Jamie from Black Eagle was the one that also did this tattoo. Even though I enjoy Beauty and the Beast, the reason I got this tattoo was because I had just gone through a breakup and I kind of needed some tattoo therapy. So it kind of was a spur of the moment thing, but I felt like it was still acceptable to get it because I still enjoyed this movie. As far as the price, I believe it was about $100. And for the pain, I would probably rate it a 5 or 6, but the closer that Jamie got to my knee, it would probably be about an 8. So then in August 2017, I got a small tattoo on my foot that represented my childhood dog Cleo that had passed away that summer. We had my dog Cleo for about 16 years, so when she passed away, I knew I wanted to get a tattoo that represented having her as a childhood dog. This tattoo probably means the most to me because it has to do with my childhood and just growing up with Cleo and having her for basically my whole life. I believe the artist that did this tattoo was Kevin from Black Eagle. I'm not 100% sure if that was his name. It was on walk-in Saturday, so that's when you would just go in, ask them to do a certain tattoo that is usually pretty small and doesn't involve a lot of time to do. The cost for it was the shop minimum, which was, again, I believe $75, and it only took about 10 minutes or so. But with it being on my foot also, I would say the pain was about 7 or an 8, but since it didn't take that long, it also didn't hurt for that long. So next I got my 7th and my 8th tattoo on October 13th, 2017. For the skull hand, we went to Artistic Creations, I think. I don't remember the price. I want to say it was maybe $100 or so. And for the pain, it wasn't that bad at all, probably a 5. And on that same day, I got my 8th tattoo, which is just a simple Friday the 13th flash tattoo that Rock Lake Tattoo had. I got it from a tattoo artist named Preston. I'll link his information down below as well. And let me tell you, I waited over 12 plus hours to get this tattoo on October 13th. They had pages and pages of people with their names on it, and they would go down the list and give these people tattoos that they had on flash sheets. And it only took about 5 minutes to get this tattoo. Yeah, I waited all day long. We waited so long that we technically went to the second tattoo shop first, where I got the skull hand. We went out to eat. We waited all day to get these simple Friday the 13th tattoos. So with both of these tattoos, I got them on the same day. They don't really have a meaning to them other than the fact that I just simply wanted to get tattoos that day. I thought it was a cool idea to get tattoos on Friday the 13th, which happened to be in October, so it intensified the spookiness. So a whole year passes and I get my 9th tattoo on my knee. Whew, that one hurt. I already knew that I wanted to work on a leg sleeve, and I figured that I needed a tattoo to fill in on my knee. So the only thing that I thought was appropriate to put on my knee was this traditional rose tattoo. And the artist that did this tattoo was Zac Walker from Black Eagle. His information will also be down below. And boy, let me tell you, this is the most painful tattoo on my body. With how big this tattoo is and the placement, whew. Traditional tattoos aren't really my style. I tend to go for the more realistic type of tattoos, but since I already have a semi-realistic tattoo on my body, I wanted to try and get this traditional tattoo on my knee, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I love the collar, I love the shading, I love the line work, I love the placement. It is perfect. If you ever think about getting a knee tattoo, be prepared for the twitching and for the jerking and just everything else, because it's gonna hit that one spot in your knee that just kicks out when you hit it, and it is not fun. And I tried my best to keep my leg still, but I didn't, and I feel really, really bad. So I'm sorry, Zach. Couldn't help it. So the pain scale is already at a 10 plus, probably. As far as the pricing, I don't remember the exact number, but I believe it was in the 200s range. So that is pretty affordable if you plan on getting a tattoo of this size. And the 10th and most recent tattoo that I got in June of this year is the skeleton ribs with the flowers. And this tattoo was done by Anthony Coleman, whose information will be down below. This tattoo doesn't really have any sort of special meaning to me other than the fact that it is a skeleton that goes with the sugar skull that I have and the roses that go with the rest of the roses that I have. The price for this tattoo was again in the 200s range, and as far as pain goes, I would say it was probably a 6 or a 7. My leg did twitch quite a bit, but that was more up towards my knee and down near my ankle. But I love how bold this tattoo is and how much black is in this tattoo, and I know for a fact that I'm gonna have this tattoo for a very, very long time. But I mean that with the amount of black that there is, this tattoo is gonna be very bold when all the rest of my tattoos have faded. I still have a couple more spots in my leg that I want to fill with tattoos. I don't know when I plan on getting them, but I know it will be in the near future. I do eventually want to start an arm sleeve one day. I have some ideas of what I want to put on my arm. I don't know yet if I want to do just one arm sleeve or two. I'm kind of leaning towards the idea of my left arm being colored tattoos because a majority of my leg tattoos have bits of red in it, and then a part of me wants to have this arm as just black and white tattoos. I'm more excited about the black and white arm if I do an arm sleeve, so I might start with that. But once I do, I'm sure I'll make another tattoo video in the next couple years. Hopefully the next time you see a tattoo video, I'll have plenty more tattoos. Until then, I'm sure I'll post some tattoo vlogs where I bring you along and show you the tattoos that I'm getting. Really hope you enjoyed watching this tattoo tour. I hope you got some ideas on tattoos you might want. I hope that you check out these tattoo artists down below. Down below, not over there, down below. And also, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below to my channel, and make sure you hit that bell to be notified when I post more videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.